Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am going to do a page in my October, not quite daily album. This year I'm working in a Troublous notebook. This is a notebook that I've made myself, and as you can see here, it is an unbound notebook. I've decided to try it this way for the month. That way I will be able to kind of stitch it all up at the end, and for processes like this, it makes it super easy because I can pull my page out, work flat on it. I can run it through my typewriter if I need to. It's going to make stamping super easy. That's my vague plan for the month. Now today I got a design team package from Citrus Twist, and I kind of had to dive straight into it. I pulled out a few of the papers and the cards from their new flea market findings range. You can see the kind of color scheme I'm going here for October. I've decided to skip the orange altogether. I didn't love it. Orange is not my favorite. Didn't love it last year. I'm going just with my favorites this year. So it's pink and black and white basically. Super easy for me. And I'm going to do a kind of page like that today here. The paper that I've picked out is a really pretty floral pattern. And I will say the pattern is pink and navy blue. So I'm just going to ignore that for now. I'm going to pretend that it's black and just carry on. Now the notebook that I'm working on this year is, each page is 5 by 8 inches, and so I trimmed down the 6 by 8 inch paper so that it fits my 5-inch page, but I could not throw away that little strip of paper. It's so pretty. So I'm going to end up putting that on my left hand side of my spread, and I have decided to do my stamping on just a scrap bit of paper rather than directly onto my page, and I'll be forever grateful for that decision, as you'll see. The other thing that I've got 2 square photos here. They're a little bit smaller than 3 inches. That's of me and Jack reading his new Halloween book. I say new Halloween book. It's his first Halloween book that I bought for him. I couldn't not buy it. It's called Howloween. About dogs. We both love dogs. It's so cute. So my sister took some photos of us reading that the first time, and I used one of the pink journaling cards and a few pieces from the cut apart sheet. Now, as far as my stamping goes, I've got the brand new Penelope Alpha stamp, and I gotta say, I'm kind of in love with it. I did prep the stamp set first. I went ahead and did all of the letters because I'm a bit naughty for not doing that. I just do the letters that I need to use, and so then I end up with ones that aren't prepped. This time I spent a bit of time and just did it all in one go so that I could just go ahead and stamp. Now, I know you guys love it when I leave all of my stamping errors in here, and here you go. Here's my first one. This is a little bit of a different kind of stamp set for me to work with. The letters are super wide and quite sort of narrow vertically. So it's a little bit different from what I'm used to, especially in this sized kind of format. So I started off by, to be honest, I've measured these letters and I can just fit the word Halloween vertically down my page. But when I went to start, I lined everything up on the left-hand side of my paper, thinking that I'm just going to stamp all the way down, but by the time I get to W, it's a considerable amount wider than the other letters in the word, and so everything looked a little bit off-centered. So I realized very quickly that I would need to start with the W so that I can make everything centered down the middle of the word. So I started again. And I gotta say, I'm going to get all the way to the end here and realize I haven't really stamped it right. For this word to fit up and down this page, I need to stamp everything perfectly on top of each other. That required my sticking my head right over top of it, so you could not see a single thing, but you can see the end result here. So eventually, it took me 3 goes, and you know I don't like to stamp anything more than once. It took me 3 goes. I got this down on the paper, centered, aligned, perfect. Now I'm going to just trim this paper down like it was just a bit of scrap paper, so I'm going to trim that to make sure that it fits onto my 5-inch spread, including that little 1 inch of pattern paper on the other side, and then I can go ahead and just really quickly adhere everything onto the base page. So I'm starting with my pattern paper, and then I'm going to add my little paper strip onto this side. I have actually worked on the back of this page, so it is a little bit bumpy, hence my having to stamp on some scrap paper. So once I got everything adhered down, it's nice and flat, and I never would have been able to get that right the first go if I was stamping directly onto that base page. Now, one of the pieces that I trimmed out from that cut apart sheet, I didn't intend to do it this way. It says golden memory, and I decided that I would use that for my journaling. I have already gone ahead and pre-typed my journaling onto a little bit of scrap paper. I was just going to adhere it onto the page, but when I trimmed out that piece, I decided that instead of just using it as a layer behind my photo, I would turn my photo into a little pocket, and then I could slip that piece in behind it, and it would kind of have some hidden journaling. So I've used some very thin red line tape around 3 sides of my photo, leaving the top of that open. I am going to layer it onto my journaling card, so I want to make sure that that's nice and straight. When I create pockets for pieces that are going to go behind something, whether it's a photo or another bit of paper, before I stick that down, I do like to put in the piece that I'm going to use behind it, so that it kind of, I guess it kind of lifts the paper a little bit and just creates a bit more air in that pocket. So you can see that I've just only pulled off a little bit of that red line tape, and I'm just going to sit that in there until I've worked out where everything else on the page is going to go, because that pocket is going to be attached to both the journaling card and the background paper. I want to make sure that it's going to be in the right place and that I've got everything else layered in behind there. Now, I did have some of the 31 collection from Pixma Marketing, and I'm just picking out a few pieces that I can layer in here behind there as well. So I've got that little cute pink ghosty, there's a little die cut heart, and I've got some chipboard pieces that I want to add into. I mean, I tell you, I know it's not particularly Halloween. I wish there was a dog in here. It would have suited the page so much better. As it is, I've got a little black cat, which it kind of works because Jack loves cats as much as he loves dogs. So I've got both of them on there. So because I've got those kind of 2 elements on my right hand page, I've got the cat and the little ghost, I want to balance that out with a third element, so a third sort of visual piece onto the left hand side, and I'm going to use those 2 pink hearts to do that. So now I've got a basic idea of where everything is going. I can go ahead and adhere this all down. So first I pulled out those 2 other pieces of red line tape, and then I can go ahead and adhere that whole piece down. So my wee pull out is still in there. It's not adhered down, but you can see it means that I've got enough room to lift that in and out super easily. And then I can go ahead and layer up the rest of my photo and pieces. So although these things, they're not like particularly Halloweeny kind of themed, they work nicely with the story, which isn't just about Halloween. It's about me spending time with Jack. It says happy day. The other little black piece says just add glitter. I mean, why wouldn't you add glitter? It's Halloween. So I love that I can use these kind of basics. I mean, these are pieces from Citrus Twist. They're not meant to be Halloween themed, but they work nicely in my album anyway. There's tons of oranges in those papers and cards, so if you are a more kind of traditional color scheme for Halloween, they would work just as nicely here as well. So all I'm doing is layering these little strips. This one says today captured. I'm going to add in my chipboard. It's just another advantage with having my kind of unbound notebook like this. I can put big thick pieces of chipboard in here and it's not really going to worry me because I can pull the pages out. I can stamp and add stuff as I need to. So I'm not worried about chipboard. I'm not pulling any of the backing off. I'm leaving it nice and thick and chunky in the hopes that when I finish this album, it will be a lovely big thick notebook. The cover I made myself. It's from clear vinyl, sort of acetate. All the instructions for that are actually over on my Patreon page. I'll be posting extra Halloweeny videos over there. If that's something that interests you, then why not go ahead and join my Patreon? So here's the journaling that I already had typed up just on a bit of scrap paper. Like I said, I was going to add it onto the page, but this is the perfect little card to stick it onto. I just trimmed out the strips and glued them in. I can tuck that in and then tuck my page back into the notebook where it belongs, and I'm all done. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I am going to leave a couple of videos here on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.